Alright, just inside the portal now. Get in and see what we're working with. Looks like pretty good ground. I see a lot of ground fall. First bend right here. Oh, that's nice and spacious. So clean. I wish all the mines we visited were this clean. By clean, I mean a lack of ground fall and mud, things like that. Nice photogenic mine so far. We got something. A little chamber with the remains of a bunch of dynamite boxes here. Really strong airflow. This is a good sign. Ooh. Old brush right there, but I said ooh to whatever is up here. That's a big chamber back there.
This is cute, Justin. Charlie Brown cherry pie. It's got a date, but of course no year.
I will say October 31, 1762. So it's an old mine. Okay, this doesn't go anywhere here. Some
Blasting instructions.
Blasting instructions, nice. Little trestle-esque element right there. Another Charlie Brown pie. Again, I'm sure that's from 1762. Oh, wow. Nice little chamber here. Some of that looks natural. Running off in all directions. They did some gobbing there. A lot easier than hauling it out. And then there's a junction here. See this junction? And I'll bet this one on the right runs into this chamber I was looking in before. If you recall, see my buddy's light shining through? I looked through there a second ago. There's something running off that way. There's something running off this way. Need to go check that out. On the floor are the remains of some dynamite boxes. And that's probably the packing paper for the dynamite box based on what I've seen in the past. Pretty big area they stoped out. I mean, I'm not saying relative to modern industrial level mine, but I'm saying for the time, this mine was active. And considering the location, I'd say it's a fairly large stope. Sticking with the right-hand rule theme. Obviously, they did have rail back here. Aside from the fact you can see the track ties right there. You can also see the divots in the ground. There are the spikes. You see the wood split when they're driving that spike in. We have the same problem in our mine. We're trying to spike stuff. It's a pain. You have to pre-drill the tie before you start hammering stuff into it. Otherwise, quite often it splits. They were starting that direction, but then abandoned it. I'm still running my head. Still going. Ties. That might be a face there. That's definitely a face there. Yeah, that's it. We just looked down there. My buddy looked back on that one and said it faced out on all three sides right there. Old packet of Camel cigarettes right there. And while I was looking back here, I'm grateful that my buddies looked over that dip right there in this first chamber. You said it just dropped down to a...
Yeah, it stopes kind of straight down and back under the drift.
Okay, if you didn't hear that, you said it stoped straight down and then just back under the drift. Which means we're gonna keep following the rail and the airflow. I love these mines where they bend all around. It's much more aesthetically pleasing than the boring straight. Oh, I was gonna say flat mines. This is cool. Got big stope chamber there. See that pillar?
Still stuck in the wall.
There's a level up there, it looks like. See the rail up there? I think there's something up there. We've got something here and stuff over here. I'll start on the right, which actually looks the least interesting because I think that just... No, it doesn't. There's more dropping down. Okay, well, I'm gonna drop down this first. I think this is just stope, but you gotta check. Okay, that ties into, I think that ties, yeah, ties in over there. But what is down here? More stope. A big one. Stope in all directions. I think it keeps dropping down there. And up there. I just slid down from here. There is a continuation of the stope. Dropping down there. That's vertical, so I'm not sure if that's an ore pass or if that's just area they stoped out. Can maybe take a closer look at that if we get stymied elsewhere. That, just a pocket up there. Now in front of me, gets more interesting. This is my friend sliding down behind me. There's something that dropped down there that's been boarded up, and there's a drift level running off in that direction, which means we have to go down that. Just drop down from up there. Taking a closer look at this level here. There's a little pocket there. That's it. And then what I was curious about, what's this area running into here? You see they get water here, which makes me think it must tie into something on the surface. I'm betting that this ties in. I think that's where we were looking up before. I think that's where I started, is up on that level. It looks like there's a trail dropping down through here. It looks like there's something else, perhaps a continuation of the stope up there. And then what is in front of us? We've got more stuff dropping down there. Okay, that just is part of the stope. I think this is just stope here. Is that where you guys were up before?
That's too high for the shaft. It should be down here. I don't know where that is.
When they went ahead and I went to the right, they encountered a shaft. So that's the shaft he's referencing. Well, we'll look at that. I want to look at this first. Because what is this? That's the big question. There's another boarded up pit right here. They've sealed that off. And then there's some infrastructure down there. It looks like a Winze. You see the stoppers right there? Let's go take a look at that. My buddies are climbing down where I climbed down from. I'm down with that Winze. You see the stoppers here in front of me. That's looking down the Winze, which keeps going quite a way. There's stoping on the left Also on the left, there's a drift level here that runs off in that direction. There's a junction behind me and a drift level that runs off over here. And lots of stuff. A lot of explosive boxes. I'm feeling airflow. Ah, there's an ore chute right there. That's, remember I said I was looking down at that boarded up thing? That's the top of an ore chute. So they were using that as an ore chute and then they abandoned it. Lots of paper. Little dynamite boxes down here. See the Hercules powder box. There's some old hose down here. Looks like from an airline. There's another ore chute. Do you remember that other boarded up section I saw? Pretty sure it was the top of that. So they were emptying those stopes and then left it. This mine's getting pretty elaborate, so I'm gonna start sticking with the right hand rule. Not worried about getting lost yet, but it keeps getting more and more complex. A little raise right there. That's the top, in case you can't tell in this light. Still feeling airflow, so I'm curious how all this connects. There's another Winze. Wow. Okay, so there's a Winze dropping down here. There's a big junction I just came to here. Another ore chute and a drift running off that way. I see a ladder going up because that might be the shaft they're talking about. And then there's a drift level heading off in that direction. But let's stick with the right hand rule. So let's go look at whatever's there. Something I just noticed before I turn the camera off. See all the grease on the rib right here? That must have been, they must have had a hoist here pulling stuff up from the Winze there. And that left the grease here. Having come closer, my friends are confirming this is the shaft. They look down from above. Of course, we'll give you a better view of it when I get back up there. I believe this is the bottom because that ladder stops here and it looks, I don't think that's plugged. I think that's literally the bottom. Something really cool here. You've got the skip car still here.
Upside down?
Yeah, okay, you know what? I was trying to figure out, it's flipped around. So, I don't know how that happened. That would have been a lot of muscle.
Just cut the cable and launched it.
Yeah, the cable's all loose. It's still, no, I don't know. Yeah, hard to say what happened here. Because that cable looks a bit small for hauling all this up, but who knows. For whatever reason, the skip car's still here, but it's flipped around. That's the bottom there. And if I come over here, you can see there's actually an ore bin. This infrastructure I was standing on is an ore bin. So stuff would have come out of the side drift, looked around, dumped in the ore bin here. The skip car would have gone all the way to the bottom, and the ore chute there would have filled the skip car here in front of me, and then hauled it up and out up the shaft. It's a nice easy shaft to get up to if we choose to. We were just checking out the shaft there. I want to finish the level before it continues to drop down, so I'm going to head over here next. When I was coming back, I looked up and realized I'd missed this stoped out area directly over my head. So we'll continue down here and hopefully finish the level before finding more stuff to go up or down. I don't feel the airflow anymore, so the airflow obviously is coming from the shaft. Little drift right there. I think that's the extent of it, but I'll check on the way out. If it's not, I'll go down it. Definitely have to go down that one. But sticking with the right, and the rail goes to the right. Okay, more stoping. Little pocket there. Runs up to a stope there. Pocket there. This just keeps going. I see. It's like an ore chute might have failed up ahead. I'm not sure what's going on yet. I'll tell in a minute. There is definitely an ore chute there. That's not from the ore chute though. Pretty good looking ore chute. Considering this wood is about 100 years old probably. I mean, look at the quality of that wood. It literally looks like it was put in last week. It's not even plugged. It's not even plugged. I don't know if you guys can see up that very far, but I can't see what you're seeing on the camera right now because I'm sticking it all the way out, but hopefully there's something exciting up there to see. And that just faces out right there. So I've just been dumping the waste rock here, and then rather than hold out, they just stashed it back there. That's where that ore chute was. We've got this quick little, hopefully quick little side drift to check out. Faces out. And my buddy ducked his head down. The other one on the way in we are curious about, and that also faced out. So now we'll go to the left where that Winze we came down is. Back at this Winze, that's the section we just checked out. Now we've got this drift here. Go check out. And there's a pit here, which is why my buddy was squirming around the side. That is a little bouncy. I was gonna duck walk across that. Yeah, I think I'll still try it. If I fall, you guys can see it on camera. No problem. No problem. Just duck walk right across that. Another stope here on my right. Sorry, I just bumped my buddy. I like it was quite a way down. It looks like this. It's all, the stope looks like it drops down to where the Winze is going. It's a little tiny pillar right there. Kind of cool. More stoping there. There's respectable stoping behind me, yeah. Good thing it's not my turn.
Not our turn all year now.
Okay, that's an interesting question, yeah. Something knocked the rail in and squeezed it. There, it pinches in then. There's a little drift level going back there. And here's a bunch of stuff tossed back here. It smells musty back here. So I bet, I was just thinking, but this doesn't go very far, then it starts bending and wrapping around like it is gonna go somewhere. Of course, gotta be careful with assumptions in abandoned mines. Maybe it ends here. Nope, keeps going. Keeps going that way. Keeps going this way. Yeah, the warm mugginess made me think it was just a little nothing. Okay, that's the end of that one. Just look down that one. Dead end hole, some backfill right there. This keeps going. A little bit of dampness down here. You can actually see the moisture on the rocks, which is interesting. Very dry in this part of the state, so a little surprised to see moisture down here. You can see what it's done to the metal, how rusted the metal is. I think it faces out here. So we'll keep going down the drift of the rail. We just looked down that drift. Now we're continuing down drift of the rail. We just lost the rail. So I don't know how much farther this goes. Could be the end, could be something there. I see more rail jumbled up at the end. Looks like it keeps going. The junction here with dead end pocket there, a dead end pocket here, and dead end pocket there. Time to drop the winds, boys. We just finished exploring that drift, back of the winds. Something kind of interesting here. See that board in front of me? That's where you can see where the cable was cutting into the wood there as they were hauling loads up from down below. I was looking down the winds. That light, my buddies climbed down the stope. I thought it'd be easier. I'm just gonna bomb down the winds and see how things look down there. Coming down the winds, and it keeps going past that platform right there, but there's a sub-level here, which is kind of cool. I think it's aesthetically pleasing how that comes out on the platform, and would have dumped into a skip car coming up. The sub-level continues into the stope. You see the rail there, stops there, so they would have been filling the ore cars with the material in this stope here. And then the winds, of course, keeps dropping.
So next level's not the bottom.
Oh, it keeps going down beyond that?
Yeah, after that level, then it kind of levels out.
Cool. Cool. So at least a couple levels down below us. Still dropping down the winds. Kind of a large-ish stope chamber here. The winds keeps dropping down that direction. I think that's the bottom level there. I'm on another sub-level now. Remains of a Hercules powder box and some motor oil. As I said, another sub-level here. There's some more explosives boxes. These sub-levels are running into stopes, as you can see. Across the stope here, there's a pillar in front of me. More stoping to the left. That dead ends there. And then there was a drift going back this way. Some more stoping. See that arch? It's pretty neat. There's a stope chamber here. More stoping. This is more extensive than I expected. There's stope drops down there. My friends are below me. Down there. A little shovel down there. Go down there in a second. Okay, this is the continuation of the stope through here. This may actually be dropping down here. This may be the bottom level of the mine. In other words, the bottom of the winds may tie into this. We'll find out in a minute. Scramble down from there. Got that old shovel at my feet. Old explosives box. Some old hemp rope. And stuff. Rail and stuff jumbled up over here. More explosives boxes. Looks like the remains of an ore car over there, actually. Let's go check that out. Crawl through here. Making my way over to the ore car. I'm on my knees, so I thought I'd stop and take a break next to this stuff. The Allstate motor oil. And I'm not sure what that was. Something co-op. I'm sure some of the audience will know. I'm gonna push that head on my hands and knees and get a look at that ore car. We were just checking out back there. Arrived at the carcass of an ore car. And by that, what I mean is just the bucket The wheels and undercarriage are gone, but still, gonna call it an ore car. It's a rail wraps around over there and ties into more stope activity. It also goes behind me. Since I'm here now, I'll walk this out. Looks like there's a classifier and a hole. A steep hole. I can't tell. It's the bottom of the steep hole. There's a wooden platform. Sorry, another camera focus on it. There's a wooden platform down there. Don't have rope with us. We used our rope outside, so hopefully we're gonna intersect that somewhere else. Looking ahead, looks like ends right there, stope ends right there, but this has all the look of an ore pass, so I bet our Winze drops down to there. We just crawled through the stopes, through here, dropped down that pipe, back to where we started. Basically, it's did a big loop. This is where we started running back. Stopes in that direction. Back at the Winze now. Dropping down that way. Thought it leveled out, but actually it keeps dropping. So, see where it goes. So we got to the bottom of the Winze. On the way, you see that ore chute to the right, my friend? That's that. Remember I said, oh, there's the ore pass. We dropped down, didn't have the hand line with us to go down it. That's it right there. So we've gotten to the bottom of that. Now we're at the bottom of the Winze. You see this platform right here. Another carcass of an ore car here. Powder box here. Again, the wheels, man, it's really dusty here. The wheels and undercarriage are missing. But again, got the bucket of the ore car. You see there's a front dumping ore car. And there is, that sounds my backpack scraping against the sides. Remains of explosives box here. And a dusty drift running off that direction. There's the ore car there. I'm gonna start walking this dusty drift out. Color rock changed dramatically. Nice stope there. And then you see that was reddish back there. It's ghostly white down here. Something up here. Looks like maybe another Winze even. That dead ends there. Got a junction here. So yeah, there's another Winze dropping down. This is a steep looking Winze. And it might be the end of it there actually. Can't tell if that must keep going, but it looks like it could be plugged. One of us will have to climb down there and check in a minute. We got the stoppers on the end here. I have an ore chute here. Look at the layers on this one. That's a steep drop. That's vertical, it's straight up. I'm not sure what we passed that tied into that. That's pretty cool. And then the drift, gonna run this out before we get on that Winze. The drift keeps going this way to another ore chute. I think that's the end, but I'm gonna check. Just some scraps of wood and stuff on the ground. Yeah, this is the end. Battered ore chute. But it's not plugged. And so there's a look up it. Again, I can't see what you're seeing because I got the camera stretched out beyond my field of view. It's not my turn, so my buddy's going down the Winze to just check. It looks plugged, but We're checking just to be sure. Use that rock on your left.
Well, I've got a rock right here.
Okay, never mind. Yeah, we just need to be sure. It looks plugged, but you never know.
It is fully plugged.
All right, fully plugged. So back all the way up, and then we're gonna drop that other Winze. This is the drift level we just ran out at the very bottom. There's a non-dusty view up where we came, so we're gonna climb back out here. While we're getting ready to go up, my buddy noticed this on the ground. It says try a full skip. So our assumption is that somebody up above was being sassy and sent this down with the empty skip to the guys down here busting their asses. So I can only imagine the response that I got, which would be kind of funny. So we'll start climbing out and pick up where the Winze starts. Making our way out, where we're climbing up from is just down there. That's the ore car there. His first ore chute on the right has something that none of us have ever seen before. This is it here. And I just noticed, it says looks like this is the home. Right here. Curious if it says anything else. There's a date there, it's like 9/20 something, but of course you can't make out the year. Anyway, you know, I'm always talking about how they use the dots to track ore car loads. Well, look at this homemade contraption. They're using these dials, these homemade dials, to keep track of the ore car loads coming out of that. That's one of the cooler things I've ever seen in an abandoned mine. And it's very unique. Like I said, we've been in hundreds of abandoned mines now. I've never seen something like that. That's very cool. We finished climbing up the large Winze over there. We're back on the level where it started and are back at this other Winze we saw. Our friend there has a large turn deficit to make up, so yet again it's his turn to drop down. It looks like it's plugged, but you gotta check these things. Oh, maybe not. He darted off pretty quickly. Okay, obviously it's not plugged. He's probably gonna shout back we need to go down there soon. So, the second Winze, he's been already gone long enough. I think we're gonna have to go down there. So I expect we'll pick up at the bottom. To our pleasant surprise, he reported back that it goes down there and runs about 10 feet in each direction and then faces out. So we're gonna go back up to that level where we intersected the shaft and run that out now. All the way back up to the top now. This is where this goes to the outside world where we entered this adit from. You'll recall, it's been hours for me. I don't know how long it's been in the video, but it's been hours for me. This whole odyssey started when I dropped over down that direction. Do you remember there was that infrastructure in front of me that I said, oh, I'll get to that in a minute? Well, that's the shaft. In other words, here is one of the ore bins that drops into the shaft. And you can see the infrastructure here associated with that. I think it looks really cool personally. It's my buddy over there. Take in this architecture for a minute because I think it's impressive. And then you've got the main shaft that we went down. Remember this went down to the skip car? Well, this was it. This is the shaft. This is a level above where we intercepted the shaft. And you can see all the infrastructure here. Pretty good looking ladder. And I see daylight up there. I don't know if you guys can see that. Maybe if I take it away. Yeah, you see the glimmer of daylight. So that daylight's up there. This looks like we might climb out of here. Give you a look back down. See all the valves and pipes and such here. Okay. There is looking down the shaft. I was calling this a Winze before. I don't even remember what I was calling it. It's been hours. I think I was calling this a Winze before because I didn't know it daylighted. But since it daylights, it's a shaft. Another good look at all the infrastructure here. There. And then the drift loops around. Might be a roller right there. The drift loops around and keeps going that way. I haven't been that way yet. And then actually, I just remembered. Do you remember that when we first came in to this, I was looking at this stope chamber here. Remember this big one here? And there was something going off over here. I don't know if this got checked out or not. That big stope, wow. Runs back over there too. Yeah, I bounced to the right almost immediately without checking this stuff out. Another horseshoe there. More of the stope here. This actually might, no, I don't say that. I thought that might tie into where the shaft is, but that has more stope over there. On the way out, I'm just going to dip my head down these, make sure we didn't miss anything. But you guys have probably seen a lot of stopes by this point in the video, so I don't think I'm going to thoroughly document everyone, but I will check everyone to make sure we're not missing anything. And that's the end. So I'll check that stope, and if nothing there, I'll pick up on the other side of the shaft. This is worth showing. I was just looking in from over there. I'm at that stope where the black ore waste rock is. There's something running back there. I need to crawl over and check. See all that gobbing. Behind me, it faces out right there. And then runs up here to more stoping. That's where that dark rock came from. So now, I'm sure glad I have knee pads. Now I'm gonna crawl over here to see what this hit over here. Okay, I see some rail back here. Some hose, airline, excuse me. Airline leading up there. I bet that ties into the shaft maybe. Huh, pretty extensive stoping. And this, I think, ties back in. See the false floor I'm walking on right here. Okay, I'm not sure where I am at the moment. There's an ore chute to my left. Runs up to there. It's interesting how these ore chutes are not plugged. There's something running off in this direction. I'm gonna check that in a minute. See a box right there. I wonder if that was used for transporting explosives. You see how heavy duty that box is? Could have been a crude skip car too. Sometimes it's hard to see, things get repurposed all the time, so sometimes it's hard to tell what something was used for. Okay, I know where I am now. So, ore bin that dumps into the shaft. Shaft, right there. And then this stope in front of me drops down, and that winze we went down is over there. Not the shaft, but the winze that we went down over there. So with that said, let's walk this out. See remember I was talking about the dots for tracking the ore cars? There you go. Now, like I said, with that said, let's walk this out. See where this goes. That ore chute there, it's still got the metal gate on it, which is rare. That ties into the, remember all that black rock that drop down was? Ties into that. Little stope chamber here. They've backfilled this part of it. Old hose line. That's 1920s, 1930s. In all likelihood. Stope. A little above me here. More dots. I'm not feeling airflow, or at least strong airflow, so I think the shaft is probably the way to the outside world. I don't want to go right. In case it does go to the outside world, I don't want to backtrack. So let's just check this real quickly. Oh, dead end. Glad I didn't come all the way back for that, in case this is the way out, or a way out. My friends want to head this way. They've been gone a while, so I suspect this is not small. Pretty big raise. There's shallow ore chute here. I hear my friend's voices up ahead. Very shallow ore chute. You could actually climb that if you wanted to. Drift keeps going. See another ore chute. Little stope here. Drops down to that point. Dead end pocket. Like I said, another ore chute. Getting a little cramped. This. Wow, more stuff. So there's something dropping down there where my buddy, whose turn it is again, is going. My other buddy found, looks like a piece of calcite.
There's a big mineralized pocket of crystal up back there.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's calcite. Of course, the camera doesn't want to focus on it right now, but I think that's calcite. We're in a stope chamber that runs up to there, and then also up to here. And then, did you guys go back there yet? Mm-hmm. Is it just dead end?
After many twists and turns.
Is it worth checking out?
For your viewers, I think you have to.
Yeah, he's right. Failed ore chute here. That's what's filling the adit in front, or drift in front of me. So at this point, it looks like we're going up that shaft. And hopefully we can get to some other workings. Huh. That looks like they drifted straight ahead and then decided to drop down. That's an unusual pocket, I guess, for lack of a better word. That's so rusted, I didn't even know what that was originally. Definitely something. There's moisture back here. See the difference in the wood? It didn't burn. That's rot. It looks like it burned, but it didn't burn. That's rot. This may, I don't know, this may tie to the surface, but I don't feel any airflow, so I'm thinking not. May just be what little water this part of the world gets. Percolating down. I think that's a dead end. Dead end. Keeps going. Dead end. Dead end. So, I'm gonna go back to where my friend was crawling down into that stope. If there's anything good there, I'll show you. If not, probably meet you at the top of the shaft. We just got to the shaft and I just put my camera away when my other friend pointed out the fact that there's a bear in this mine. That's got to be the biggest Bear brand safety fuse box I've seen. You guys have anything larger than that? Because nope. Normally they're a lot smaller. So that is really cool. Usually they're significantly smaller. So I almost have the full bear. He's missing a little bit of his butt, but he's got the rest of him. That is cool. And then as long as I've got the camera on, check out this roller here. Do you see where the cable cut into it right there? The amount of heat that must have generated when I was doing that is extraordinary. All right, climbing that shaft. Looking forward to daylighting. Climbing up the shaft here. Notice the sublevel cutting off to the left. So of course I have to check it out. Remember when I was way over there before, looking up, I said, oh, it looks like there's a sublevel up here because I saw this track. Well, this is it. We're on that sublevel. This is the stope we looked in before. Hopefully you can see the thin little rail over there. But we're at the top of this stope. And there's rail there running off to something there. And there's a path leading over to this stoping. They took so much material out of here. These are some big stopes. Big pillar there. Yeah, these are large stopes. Dropping into another stope. They're basically, when you're at the top like this, you're just dropping ore down through a series of chutes and passages until you get to some place where you can more easily haul it out. Yeah, this stope just runs out in all directions. This is big. See up there too? They cleared all up there. Man. There's all these little pockets that run up different places as well. I mean, this is big. I'm gonna go look down that drift with the rail because I'm really curious about that. Good look at that pillar there. I'm gonna go down and look down. Oh no, I'm not. This looks moderately interesting over here. Another big pillar here. Okay, just more continuation of the stope. I'm gonna look down where that rail is, and I'll look around here some more before we exit. If there's anything I feel you need to see, or is worth seeing, or exciting, or whatever, I'll show you. So we just looked back there, and my buddies by the shaft are tired. This is looking down again on those big stopes we looked up from before. And you can remember we looked up on that big pillar there. There's an old Union Carbide can here, but it's actually preserved really well. It says Miner's Lamp very clearly. You can see the Union Carbide logo. Rare to see them preserved that well. And then back here, I'd say I was an idiot. Forgot to press record. So I was filming all back there, talking to a camera that was turned off. Anyway, that goes in dead ends face. That goes dead ends face, no features. Just goes back 200-300 feet and that's it. So it's not that interesting. I'll spare that to you. Next, heading up the shaft. I think we're gonna daylight after this. I think I'll pick up at the top. Just climbed up the shaft here. My last buddy making his way out. We are at daylight. Can't wait to get out there and see how that looks. That looks really cool from the inside. So I bet that looks cool from the outside. A little passage right behind me. Let's just drop down the stopes.
Oh yeah, drop.
A little passage here. Whoa. Drops way down to all those stopes. I took a lot of material out of here. But let's go get a look at the outside world. We haven't seen daylight in a while. This is amazing. Look at this infrastructure here. This is so cool. Wow. I'll go back and show you some more right there. that's a can't talk today, blacksmith shop. I'm sure you guys spotted this. It just dead ends right there. I don't know if you can see that light on the camera. Dead ends 15 feet in. Big ore bin here, so you can see the head frame there. The skip car would come out, dump the ore into the bin here, and then I'll get to it. Hold on. See, they've got 1, 2, 3, 4 chutes. Okay, this is interesting. About 1, 2, 3, 4 chutes there, and then the 3 shoots. God, I cannot talk today. 3 chutes up above. So maybe 1 for waste rock, 1 for ore. Hard to say. We'll take a closer look in a minute. So much here to see. There's another chute coming down here. I bet this was a waste rock chute. So that may have been for 2 types of ore. You know, 1 ore go at the top level of chutes, 1 ore got the bottom level of chutes, and then the waste rock, I'll bet, got funneled down here and dumped over here. See how much waste rock's down there? All the way to the bottom of the canyon? That's no joke. That's a long way down. Now, you've probably noticed the cables running down from the top. There's a reason for that, because they tie into a tram station down there, and yes, we'll go look at that, don't worry. But tram station right there, and things that get dropped farther down the canyon. I'll touch on that more when we get down there. Still going to show you a few things here. The ore bin we just checked out is there. Followed this track over to this ore chute, trestle and ore chute. The trestle runs out there for drop material into the ore chute. And then, see all these cables here? Those are there for a reason. And that reason is that there is a tram tower down the mountain. The light might be too bad. There's a tram tower down there just above the shaded area. Hopefully you can see it. Tram tower there. There's also that station here. I'm not sure how all those played together, but somehow they did. It looks like the ore would come up from the bottom into the bin there, into cars there, get wheeled over here, and then down the chute here. That's my other buddy checking out that drift or adit we spotted there. Anyway, into the chute here, and then trammed down the mountain via that tram tower in the distance. So I'm less clear. Oh, you know what? There's not a tram station there.
No, that's the hoist.
That's the hoist. I was thinking that was a tram. That's the hoist. Alright, now it makes sense.
This long chute was the waste rock, so they would divert the waste rock.
Right, yeah, I got that part. But I'm not used to seeing the hoist that far away from the shaft.
Yeah.
That's really unique. Alright, I'll eat that one. That was somewhat awkward getting that wrong. But, like I said, I don't think I've ever seen a hoist that far from the head frame. We've got a better look at that. Okay, so that all makes more sense now. So, ore into the bin, carted over here, and then down. Looks like my friend is just getting to the other adit right now, so he said. So yeah, all the cables would run off that pole there and down the mountain. Back at the ore bin, just wanted to show you this different perspective. I'm standing directly underneath the chute for the waste rock. You see the head frame there. Just wanted to show you a different perspective on that. Closer look at the front of the ore bin, and you can still see the canvas liners they had in the chutes. Isn't that neat? Back at the top of the shaft, that's where we came out. I think all this infrastructure here just looks amazing. This is the back side of the ore bin, obviously. Okay, I'm hoping to tie this together better for you. So the skip car would come up there, dump into that chute there. There's a grizzly. That metal thing is a grizzly, which would separate out the bigger rocks. Then you've got an upper chute and a lower chute here, and so they could decide which ore went where. Or a waste rock would go down this chute here. That's the waste rock chute, dropping down. So it's actually a pretty sophisticated separation system they had going on here. There's the ore bin there. Another look up at the head frame and the infrastructure. I'm down in the blacksmith shop now, and it's extraordinarily well preserved. So much is on the ground here. Bits of metal all over the place. Wooden shelves are still intact. You can see where the anvil was there. The forge, or what's left of the forge, is behind me. You can see the slag in there. There's a view of the window and such. That's very rare to see them this well preserved. Perhaps even more unusual is this drill bit sharpener I have over here. I'll make my way over there. Another look at the forge. Really impressed by that. I mean, seeing the valves and such still hooked up there, that's amazing. Got the drill bit sharpener. Again, that's remarkably intact. They would heat up the drill bits in the forge and then jam them in there to get sharpened. Still more stuff on the ground. Look at all these bits of metal here. Still here, all these tools. This is really an extraordinary sight. Some kind of classifier there. And then of course that's back to the top of the shaft. Looking up at the ore bin, see the head frame there and the cables running down here to the hoist house. Hoist still intact in front of me. It doesn't have the cable wrapped around it still, but, well, actually it does. I spoke too soon. It still has a lot of the cable wrapped around it. You can see where the belts were. I'll make my way over there in a minute. Still taking all this in. The other, you can't really still hear it. So just to recap, where we dropped down the mountain is hard as hell. We dropped down from up there, got to the other waste rock pile. We came in around the other side of that knoll right there. And then, as you all know, we all came out there. Hopefully that'll help orient you. I can't see... Yeah, I can't see the tram tower from here, but the tram tower down there for hauling things away from... See that pole right there? That was the top. Let me climb over on the other side, shoot the rest of this real quick. We'll have some lunch. Keep looking around. Another look at things here. Where my buddy's knees are, you can see there was a piston there. Get all this equipment over here as well. That's really cool to see this so intact. Very rare. I see it says 315 there. I don't know why. Piece of drill steel here, helping hold this in place. An interesting thing about this is you'll notice this is old drill steel. It doesn't have the hole in the middle of it for the water. This is the kind of drill that would give the miners silicosis. Very cool. All right. I could look at this place all day and still be happy. We're gonna have lunch and look around some more. I didn't feel like getting my camera out, so I'm just using my phone. But you can see the top of, where is it? The top of the head frame there. And you see them down at the bottom of the waste rock piles. And we came down here just because a bunch of stuff was tumbling down the edge. And I wanted to see what was down here. Something pretty cool I found right in front of me are the remains of this blower. And you see it says Champion Blower and Forge Company, Lancaster, Pennsylvania, USA. That is definitely an old one. Then let's see these pipes and such down here, some kind of tank. We're going to continue working our way down. There's a miner's trail down there we're going to try and intercept.